for increasing the vertical jump, strengthening the legs and the posterior chain is the Snatch-Grip 45-degree back extension. It's very similar to a glute ham raise in that it recruits all of the fibers in the posterior chain. When performing this movement with a bar, again, you want to go as wide as possible with your grip or collar to collar. Starting in the stretch position, notice he is all the way down at the bottom, stretching the lumbar. He's going to come up till he is parallel to the ground or in full extension of the body. Again, a collar to collar grip, recruiting the hamstrings, the butt, and the lower back. We can't stress enough that you must train the posterior chain to increase the vertical jump, and that it can comprise up to 65% of vertical jump power. When performing the 45-degree back extension, the ideal sets and reps are very important for this. The best way to train the posterior chain in this exercise is by doing roughly 3 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions. It is better to perform a lower number of sets and higher number of repetitions on this exercise. Another exercise to increase the vertical jump and train the posterior chain is the standing bent knee good morning. During this movement, again, the knee should be slightly bent, the lower back arched, and the movement occurs at the hip joint. When doing the standing good morning, you want to make sure you take a grip where your hands are out as far as possible or collar to collar. The bar is placed on the upper back as it would be during a back squat. Again, the knees are slightly bent, the lower back is arched, and he occurs this movement at the hip joint. Up. You should go as low as you can go before the back starts to round. Once the upper back or lower back starts to round, you want to stop the range of motion. Again, this is a great exercise to strengthen the posterior chain or the lower back, the glutes, and the hamstrings, which comprises up to 65% of a vertical jump. When performing the standing good morning, it is best to do 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps. Again, quality and form should never sacrifice for the weight. Full range of motion, again, 4 to 8 or 10 repetitions. Another exercise used to increase the vertical jump is the Romanian deadlift or RDL. This would be an exercise used in a progression before performing a full power clean or power snatch. Studies have shown that 65% of the posterior chain contributes to vertical jump. The posterior chain is comprised of the hamstrings, the lower back, and the glutes. When performing this movement, you want to have your knees slightly bent, the lower back is arched. Again, keep the bar in contact with the lower extremities on the way down. The movement of this exercise occurs at the hip joint. Once the knees are slightly bent, they should not move on the way down of the movement. Again, this is a good exercise to train the posterior chain or the hamstrings, the lower back, and the glutes. Good. When performing RDLs, again, it's very important that form is priority and range of motion. The ideal number of sets is 4 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions. Another great tool for increasing the vertical jump is the Snatch-Grip deadlift on Podium. This is one of the most bang-for-your-buck exercises in that it trains the entire body, especially recruiting all of the fibers in the legs that are used for jumping. You want to take a snatch grip or go out wide again, outside of the line. We are on a podium or some sort of low box to increase recruitment of the posterior chain. Again, he starts from the bottom position. It is a controlled movement on the way up, full extension, and then a controlled tempo on the way down. Again, we want you to use your total body, so you must bend your knees, flat back, full extension at the top, control on the way down, back into the same form as you used on the way up. Again, this is one of your most bang-for-your-buck exercises, or if pressed for time, it's a great exercise to train the entire lower extremity, which relates to increasing power in the vertical jump. When performing the Snatch-Grip deadlift, it is important to perform a higher number of sets with a lower number of repetitions. For example, anywhere from 5 to 8 sets of 5 repetitions is ideal.